Hi and welcome back to another video. I'm Isa and we're izaandelle. And today we're going to talk about 10 weird things you didn't know about twins. So let's get started. Woo. So this does not apply to all twins, so we're just going to talk from our perspective. But maybe there's some twins that feel the same as us. So let's talk about the first thing. So the first thing is we don't like to wear the same clothes in public. Yeah, in public. Or like when it comes to school, we don't want to look the same because we already look the same, so we don't want to look even more the same. So we just feel like we already look the same and we don't want to make it even harder for anyone to tell us apart. So we'd rather wear different clothes than same, but then when we wear the same thing, it's not like, oh my god, I gotta change. It's more like, or sometimes it's like that, but when we wear like same pair of jeans, like that's not a big deal. But when it comes to events and stuff, then we actually don't care. Then we can wear the same stuff. Yeah. So, but it's more like daily. It's more when we are in school and when we are maybe going shopping. We just don't want to wear the same clothes because we don't think it's very fun. So we just don't prefer wearing the same thing. But that's also why we don't wear the same thing in our TikToks anymore. Because when we were smaller or younger, we didn't think about that so much. No. But now we think about it a little bit more and just don't prefer wearing the same things. But next fact. So the next thing you maybe didn't know about us is that we have the same taste in everything. Yeah, like we're not even kidding. It's like literally the same. In food, in clothes, makeup, guys, subjects, you know, school subjects, people in general, and what we do on like free time activities. Like we both love dancing and we both love to play soccer and we like to draw and we like a lot of different stuff. So for example, we share a lot of clothes because we like the same type of clothing and we just don't wear it at the same time. Also, another example is that we have the same favorite colors, we have the same favorite subjects, we have the same favorite activities, as you said. Both of us likes blue, pink, gray and white. Both of us like soccer and dancing, and both of us like sports in general, arts, and you know, so that's another example. So the third thing, we don't like when people address us as the twins, because then it seems, or for us it seems like they think we are one person, like we're the same person, and we're not the same person. We're two different persons. So I don't know, it can be not a friend, but friends don't call us the twin. So some people just say like, oh, where's the twins? Where are the twins? And we have a name. My name is Isa. Your name is we're not the same person. We're like still two different people. It's like you and your best friend would be called by one name. It's like, it's a little bit weird. But, and just to clarify, we're not talking about our followers. If you guys call us the twins, then we understand, because you don't know, you don't know the difference. You don't know the difference, tell us maybe, and you can call us the twins. Like that's no big deal or anything. It's just when we get caught, when people we know in real life and that talks to us and stuff calls us or address it to us as the twins, because then it seems like we're one person with this exact same personality and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so that's just one thing we don't. That sounded so deep. It's not that deep, but it's one thing so that we don't really like. But yeah, okay, let's jump on to the next one. We can read each other's minds. Okay, no, we can't actually read each other's minds, but sometimes it feels like it. Yeah. So we always think about the same thing when someone is talking to us. So when someone is talking to us, or if we're listening to something and someone says anything, we always think about the same thing. Or you know, we always look at each other. If something is like weird or anything, we just like looks at each other and think exactly the same thing. Yeah, because we know everything about each other. So yeah, so we basically know what the other person is going to talk about, because we want to talk about the same thing all the time. So if we want to give an example so that you can understand us better, because we understand what we talk about, but you maybe don't understand us at all. But if you want to give an example. Yeah, so sometimes I can talk with a friend of mine, and just talk about stuff, and just like, did you see, no, I don't know, something like that. And then Elle comes 2 minutes later and just like, did you see that? And say the exact same thing. And no one else is talking about it. It's just us. Yeah. Like, so, and they'd be like, she already told me about it. You know, our friend should be like, Isa already told me about that. We have already talked about that because we literally say the same thing. So another example is if we are in class and we notice something that isn't very like big, but we just notice something. We look at each other at the exact same time. About, did you see that? And sometimes our teachers are like, what are they doing? Like, did we do something? Do they talk to each other in some sort of way? For example, our science teacher were telling us about, you know, we could choose different subjects to write about, and he talked about one subject that was very hard and pretty boring. Yeah, to us. So we just looked at each other and was like, no, not that one. And our teacher was like, oh, like he noticed. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that we do a lot. So we just know we read each other's mind, because yeah. So the next thing is pretty similar to what we have already talked about, but it's that we have the same opinions. So we always have the same opinions about all type of stuff, you know, all people, clothes, as we said before. This is similar to the, like, that we have same taste. This is similar to that, but we always choose the exact same thing. If you gotta choose between three things, we always choose the same thing. Except for when we did this twin television challenge, because then we tried to trick ourselves. But if we would just choose what we really wanted, then it would be super easy. And if we talk about like anything aside, okay guys, so the camera just stopped recording, so that's why it's a bit more zoomed in now. But yeah, we talked about that we always choose, like, we always think, have the same opinions. So as I said, we just have the same opinions about everything. So yeah, but let's move on to the next one. So another thing about twins that especially are pretty tight and spend much time together is that when you study, it gets a little bit more simple, because we can always like test each other, and if I know something that Isa don't know, then I can always give my knowledge to Isa, and Isa can give her knowledge to me, and that makes it more simple. But it's not easy. No, like, we actually study pretty much. We actually study a lot, and because as we have said before, we think school is important, but it makes it more simple for us as well, because we can always test each other. Yeah, so we don't need our mom or our dad or our sister. We always have each other, because I think it's more difficult if you need your mom maybe in a subject that she doesn't have a lot of knowledge about to then test you on it. It's more simple if we have the same knowledge, or I'll have a bit more knowledge, or the same other way around, to test each other, because we always know what we're going to test each other on. Yes, and that is also one reason to why we are in the same class, because not all twins goes to the same class, but we have done all our life that we have been in the same class all our lives, and we will also probably continue to go in the same class because of this, and that is one reason, also because we want to, but this is one reason. I don't think I would have been this good in school as I am now if I wouldn't have Isa to study with, because then I don't know how I would have studied. It's always easier if you can talk to another person and explain. So that's a pretty good advantage we have. Yeah. But let's move on to the next fact. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna talk about this probably not apply to every single twin out there, because it's that we have the exact same friends. So there's not so much to talk about when it comes to this, but we just wanted to tell you that we have exactly the same friends, and we talk to the exact same people. Yeah, and I know everybody Isa knows, and Isa knows everybody that I know. Yeah. Next thing. So the next thing is that we are equally good at the same things, like dancing, playing soccer, and we're super duper bad when it comes to go-karting. Both of us, we did that one time and it was embarrassing. Yeah, but when it comes to school, we have exactly the same grades in like every subject, maybe it can be like sometimes you maybe get one score higher, or you get one score higher. Like it's not that. It's very equal. Difference. It's very equal. Yeah. And when it comes to sports, when we like play basket, or if we play basketball, or if we play tennis or whatever, we are equally good. And we always perform equally. It does not mean that we always perform equally good. It can be bad as well too, as I said. So yeah, that's one thing about us. So the next thing about us is that we have never been apart from each other more than one day, which is crazy because we're 15 years old. It's actually so crazy. As you said, we're 15 years old and we have like never been apart. The most time we've been a part of each other is probably one day, because we've been on sleepover with friends and you haven't been with me or stuff like that. But I think that is because we have the same friends. We like the same stuff. Like that's why we do the same stuff. We do every single thing together. Yeah, but still, it's so weird. Yeah. So that's a fact you maybe didn't know, and that is pretty crazy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Ew. Anyways, we don't know what more to say about it. So next thing. So the last fact about all the twins, I believe, is that we do fight. So we do not actually fight, but we do argue with each other. Yeah. So if you have a brother or a sister or a mother or a dad, it doesn't matter, you probably argue or fight, because that's normal. You gotta do that, because it's weird if you don't. If you ask me, we don't fight, we argue, and we argue with our big sister as well, because that's totally normal, as we said. But we don't have like these big fights. We never have had like a big fight. We just have arguments. Everybody does, because that's normal, as you said. So that's maybe shocking for some of you, but we do fight, or not fight, have arguments. So that was all facts about us, and hope you enjoyed this video, because it was pretty fun to record. Yeah. And finally the truth is out about us, and now you know a little bit more about us. And sorry for not uploading as we said before in our last video, but this was all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumb up and subscribe if you like it, and we'll see you next video. Bye.